Okay, how many venereal diseases can you list off?
Spencer and his family, that's at least 11 people.
I went clam digging once. I came back with the crabs.
I had some sexually transmitted diseases. I boned a chick once, and I had to go on these pills, which turned my dick like bright orange, and it was just
jaundice dick or cheesy dick.
oh,
cheesy.
the worst. And
Cheesy's
I've
important
had
dick.
like VD, and I never had crabs. Spenny had crabs once. Spenny once showed his dad his pubes. So my dick's itchy, Daddy, and his dad, Vince, laughed. He made him go get like colada at the pharmacy. I'll take your son. His
What's
dad,
colada?
It was like this crab cream or something.
Jesus.
You have crabs.
What's wrong with garlic and butter? That's how I like my crabs.
Do you like mussels?
Yeah, I love mussels.
I'll take my shirt off.
I'll take my pants off. So yeah, why are we in this underground bunker in Beirut?
Have we started? Okay, well, you might as well film us. So Matt Merrick's here. We had a
Hold on, let's do a little.
more of a multicultural crew. We were at Trailer Works.
Yeah.
And I got a phone call from Trailer Works, this guy who was running it, who, I had a deal with him. And I said, you know what? I'm doing commentaries with Sebi on Kenny versus Spenny, and he wanted us to use his studio. And originally I said, we just want to use your studio. I've got my crew, Matt, Merrick, Marco. Matt was Spenny's crew on Kenny versus Spenny for what seasons, Matt?
Last 2 seasons, right?
Last 2 seasons. Marco cut more. He's here. He cut more episodes than anybody on Kenny versus Spenny.
He's like the KVS Moyle.
He cut testes. He cut I made him cut every episode of Triumph for the Will, which was a fucking marathon. 6 episodes. He kept wanting to leave. Kept wanting to quit. I was like, you have to do it. You're doing it. Did you cut Papal Chase?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you cut Papal Chase.
He made Papal Chase.
Why isn't Marco sitting there?
Yeah, well, come say hi, Marco, quick. No. Just come in for a second. People know you. Marco is probably one of the most prestigious Kenny versus Spenny editors. Okay, he's Italian. This is Marco. Some mega fans will recognize Marco. Kenny. You may have to go lower.
Marco is one of the several Rumpelstiltskins that made.
Yeah.
He's like the Italian Rumpelstiltskin.
You have to be over 6 feet tall to work on KVS.
Intermittently, he'd go crazy with the girl and he'd get terrible, but then he's always such an incredible... I used to call him Marcolangelo because he would turn our shit into fucking...
I was going to get...
My mom like that.
Marcolangelo. That's good. Yeah. I was going to say Rumpelstiltskin or something like that. But
okay, sit down.
The Italian-Jewish connection.
But yeah, this guy, he's cut like...
The Italians are Jews with no money.
He cut everything.
Cut everything. And actually, the opening of Papal Chase, Marco shot on Super 8 at the Vatican.
Yeah.
And that's like our footage, like for the movie.
It's beautiful.
And that was your first thing you ever did, really, with me.
Yeah, I'd say like professionally. Yeah. Like unprofessionally.
Which was such a great movie. And we're going to do Papal Chase. And we'll do Papal Chase with Marco as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, we Trailer Park, I had this deal with the studio. So, what the fuck? There's a mouse in the fucking wall.
Wow.
You have to go
That's
punch
hardcore.
The wall. I know. Fuck. Yeah, one second. Yeah.
I mean, what's it doing? Like,
fucking sucks. God damn it. Downtown Toronto. Restaurants everywhere. Fuck this place. I can't get rats out of this fucking place.
Trailer Works. What happened?
So the guy calls me, he's like, I'm not happy with this situation. I go, why? We're probably going to get 100, 200,000 an episode. The guy's spending $200 cutting the show. It's like, if a company wanted to, use my website or whatever to promote their studio, it would cost you 10 cents a view, which is, $25K for 100 fucking thousand views. Just for one show would cost them $25K. And he's like, you promised me 500,000 views a show. I never promised you anything like that. You have my channel on YouTube. You can see what my shows get, what my previous shows got, what the commentaries even got. And you know what? You don't want to do it, don't fucking do it. So anyway, so they booted us out. So now, look, we're in my basement.
The old lady kicked us out. It's like
He did 18 shows for free.
18 shows
18
for free.
episodes for free.
And like
and I promoted his shit on my channel. It's
but
like,
he finally figured it out. I was
Yeah.
wondering, I honestly thought maybe after 6 he would be like onto that.
Yeah, it's like, if you didn't like the numbers we were getting on like the first 3 episodes, why did you do 18 more? I don't know. It's just
Leave it fake.
people are old.
But here's the thing: there's a lost commentary. The van.
Yeah. So the last one we did was Van.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm canceling the show. I don't want to do the show here anymore. I said, well, you need to send me the footage for Van because you guys booked me for the fucking show and we took our time out. And I said, if a company paid us to do the show, I wouldn't do the, we would each probably, I'd charge like 5 G's an episode. You probably charge 2,500 an episode to sit for an hour. So I was going, look, if you're not giving us the footage, give us $7,500 and he fucked off. I didn't feel too bad because I feel kind of bad that he did 18 episodes
for free.
Well,
Camera guy, studio space, equipment, editing for free, and the guy's upset.
Well, no,
Okay.
that's people on staff. So what? It costs them $400, like to get introduced to my audience, to my demographic, which is a global audience. Like to have me put my shit like, so it cost them what? Let's say $500. Let's say $500 an episode for 18 shows.
This is
That's $9,000.
1985.
That's $9,000 to be put on to be affiliated with Kenny versus Spenny channel when you just are a nothing studio doing absolutely nothing. He had some podcast before me that had 3 views, and I was one of them. And I'm giving him like even at 100,000 views for each commentary, 18. That's 1.8 million views. He's an idiot. Fuck
Whatever,
him.
he's burned a bridge, man. Actually,
Yeah.
Kenny, we have him here right now.
What the heck?
Come on
Lawrence,
now,
how are
man.
you?
Come on. Air your
Whatever.
grievances.
People. The reality is, people don't. The truth is, we are losers, and there are girls putting on fucking mascara getting 4 million views a week. Yes, it's a little show, and you guys have been hanging out forever, so I do appreciate that. But it's I can only do what I can do. So if you don't want to be a part of it, fucking check out my channel first, like before you fucking volunteer to do shit for me. Anyways, whatever.
So
I'm
Trailer
happy
Park's
to be
dead.
at home.
Yeah, so what's the name of this studio now? What do you want to call this? We got the Virgin here, we got brick walls, rats.
I call this Moldovia. Jamie used to live in my basement. It was covered in mold. He was here. They called it Moldovia. He's going, you need to clean up the mold here. I'm living here with my girlfriend wife, and it's not really like an appropriate living environment. I go, you're not even paying rent. You're living in my basement for free, and you want me to clean it. It's
Black
like,
Mold Studios? Moldovia Studios?
yeah, Moldova. I don't know.
That's good. I like
Anyways, whatever. We're gonna have to find a studio. This is definitely a step down production-wise from Trailer Jerks, but
that. The fans don't care. They don't want the glitz and the glamour.
I hung the Schnitzel sign. Once I was moving
there you go.
Once I was moving the Schnitzel sign, Spenny and I went to London to direct
Wait a minute. Get some
Elton versus Simon, and I got a splinter from that fucking sign right in my thumb, and it started
that.
blowing up and infecting.
memorabilia, my friend. Look at that.
Yeah, that's
What the
okay.
fuck's this
It's kind of damp down here.
Yeah, man. This is going to. You should sell this.
So yeah, everything's for sale.
It's falling apart.
So I'm in London. We're directing the first episode of well, not directing, but we're on site for consulting. The first episode of Elton versus Simon, which was an okay show. It was a format deal that we did in the UK.
Yeah.
And my finger started blowing up with pus. And one night I was wasted, and I took a pair of tweezers and I heated it under a lighter, and I just stuck it into my finger as deep as I could, and I pulled out this black fucking splinter, and my finger just squirted pus. But the second it happened, it was like I knew my finger was saved. I just knew it. And it was everything was okay after that.
So that cut your sex life in half?
My thumb?
It's like the ejaculation of pus from your thumb. Like,
Today, so a couple things happened today. One, we had some friends visit us, and my idiot friends left the garage door open, and Rudy escaped. My little dog. Where is he? He was here. Rudy! Anyways, probably. So
I think Rudy's got one too many chromosomes.
Yeah.
Or the other way around.
Rudy, anyways, hours later, some girl knocks on my door with her boyfriend. She said, "Oh, we found your dog and we took him to the animal hospital down the street."
Why would she come to your door without him?
Because she didn't.
She took him there. They told her
They
the
didn't know.
address.
They found a dog in the back alley and they took him to the nearest
And they're
vet.
like, "Oh, here's
And
the
then-
address."
No. They took him to the nearest vet.
Yeah.
And then at the vet, they found his chip in his
Yeah.
neck. And they said, "Oh, that's Audrey, blah, blah, blah. They live here." They tried calling the wife and she wouldn't answer the phone, of course. And so they walked all the way back to our address that was on the dog's
tell you.
chip, saying, "Oh, we found your dog and we left him at the animal hospital."
And then you punch them out. You're like, why the fuck isn't he here?
They say, "Oh, what's that in here?" She said, "What?"
And you just go, what's that on my elbow? Ba-boom.
Anyways, so I go get the dog, and I come back and
What are we talking about? Rudy or
Rudy.
Okay.
Yeah, not the wife. She's a fox, not a dog. And then I go get the dog, which is funny because I call my brother and I said, "Oh, today I lost my dog." Yesterday, my brother calls me. He's a doctor and he's going to work. And he calls me in the morning crying and he says, "I just found my cat, Bootsy, on the street." He walks to work, he takes the bus to work, gives his wife the car, I don't know why. He found his cat on the road, eaten by a coyote in like pieces, paws, and intestines and everything. Nice. He's crying. He had his cat for 15 years. And he sees his cat on the fucking street and he's got nothing. He runs and grabs a piece of cardboard
spatula
pizza box. It's terrible. Pizza box out of the garbage, and he starts scraping up his fucking cat and paws and guts and everything. The thing's eaten and everywhere.
So let's see the keychain
and
he
it
made.
Stinks. And he takes his cat. Now he's all covered in blood, and he's crying. And he takes his cat home. And he wraps it in some fancy blanket in his garage, and he doesn't even know how he's going to tell his fucking wife and kids. Bootsy, 15 years he's had this cat. And he goes inside, and he's just crying, and he's calling me, and he's washing his hands, and he has to change his shirt because there's blood all over it. And his cat walks in the bathroom, and it wasn't his cat. Where? There's someone else's cat that looked like his cat.
That's amazing.
It's an hour late for work,
That's
covered in
story.
blood, crying, picking it up. "Oh, Bootsy, Bootsy."
That's a good story.
Yeah.
And his wife walks in and she's like, whose pussy blood
Well,
is
he
that?
didn't want to tell his wife that. He did. "Oh, am I going to tell her that it was eaten? What am I going to do? She's going to want to see the cat. What do I do?"
God. That's a good story.
Anyways.
That reminds me.
So I'd say, "Oh, don't feel so bad. Someone took my dog to the animal hospital today."
But you didn't cry. You're a man about it. Dr. Tears.
I punched her. I said, "Fuck, what'd you tell us for?"
Yeah. You go back, you get him, you bring him back here.
You go man of 1,000 faces. Do you remember, did you have that doll? Google it. You go man of 1,000 faces. All right, so this is commentaries part 2. Van was the last one that we did, and that guy wouldn't give me the fucking footage.
Lost. Yeah.
First of all, he tried to get it pulled off of Patreon. He said, "I never allowed you put on Patreon," even though they did all these Patreon ads for me. I was like, "Look, you do some production for me. You can have my channel. I will totally promote your studio." And then he tried to remove all. And I've got I had 12 commentaries left and all this shit. So I got really fucking freaked out.
And he was like, "Don't patronize me."
Yeah, and I was like, "Fuck you, anyways, whatever." So now we're here in the basement.
Yeah.
And so I was wondering, should we continue doing commentaries, which people seem to like? Or should we do some podcast? Or should we do Trying for the Wills or Papal Chase or the
have
stuff
gay
that we
sex, maybe? I mean, what's hot now with the kids?
Honestly, I don't even care. It's not like I'm getting boned.
A wet hole's a wet hole, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so what are we going to do? I thought we were going to talk about We got Triumph. We have 6 episodes of Triumph of the Will.
Yeah.
There's the unshot season 2 of Triumph of the Will. There's People Chase.
I have some stuff that's coming to you, Patreon kids, that nobody's ever seen. That I'm going to put out soon. And so that stuff's coming. I've just been really slow to let that stuff out. But I love you guys for being here and hanging out and watching this shit. So I had this thing with the original commentaries at Trailer Works that Spenny and I did commentaries on the DVD sets. And I said, let's not do those. There's about 15 of them, 12 of them. Let me see which ones there are. The commentaries that we had previously done were Who Could Stay Awake, Handcuffed, Naked, Drink More Beer, Octopus, Imitate, Best Pro Wrestlers, Smoke More Weed, Dump Your Pants, Biggest Fart, and Goat, and Porn. So I was like, look, we already did those. Let's not do those.
I did porn with Donnie. Did you do porn as well?
No, we did porn, and then maybe we didn't do it. Maybe the crew did some.
I did porn with
Brendan,
Donnie, but not that kind.
Yeah.
And then weed, I think I did with Brendan. Is that possible?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I was thinking, why don't we do just to end the whole Trailer Work fucking cadaver and all that shit, even though that was great and people are fucking loving the show, which is really good. I think that's good. Nice. I was thinking maybe we should just do like Octopus. Just do the bit Octopus or Fart, because I did it with Spenny.
We did Fart. You and me, we did Fart.
No, we
did
didn't.
We?
No.
No, okay.
No, we haven't done Fart. This is the ones we did.
Maybe we didn't touch it because it was already.
Yeah. So what we've done so far is Suitcase Island, Meat, Blindfold, 10 Mile Race, Idiot, Maximus, Fun, Baby Soldier, Torture, Obese, Piss Off, Touch Ground, Stain, Bible, Crime, and Van, which they never fucking gave us back, which I'm kind of pissed about. I was going to say we could redo Van, but Van's not that great. So why don't
maybe after some time. Need some closure first.
We're going to end the commentaries eventually and do something else, maybe sit with the crew. Brendan's back, so maybe we could do some stuff. Or there's just crazy fucking, stories I have. 1 second, I had some written down.
Well, there's that one about Rumpelstiltskin. There's Jack and Jill.
What the hell?
Hansel and Gretel. That's another good story you tell.
Let me see, what's that? I'm baking down here now. Ronnie's Dead Cat, Trailer Works. Tour in the U.S. I'm skinny now.
HIV diagnosis.
What the hell? No, that's a different one. Okay, so anything else you want to talk about? Summertime.
Yeah, let's not date it. I don't know.
Yeah, because the
Okay, this is what the fans want to know. Season 7, man. When's season 7 coming out, Kenny? And how close has it come? Have there been meetings? Are there discussions?
The showcase had originally picked up season 7, but Spenny was such a fucking mess and disaster. Matt and Trey canceled the show because I did testes, and Matt was so mad at me, and we got some massive fight.
That was season 5.
That was season 5. Then we did which season 5 was great.
Yeah, I can't
Wrestler and Soldier and all that
my
stuff.
God.
While I was doing testes, which was nervous breakdown, worst fucking most insane shit in my life. And Matt said I couldn't do it, but I did do it. Probably shouldn't have done testes. I should just stuck with them.
Why? Well, I don't know why you didn't just delay it and be like, we're gonna film it
because I thought
next month.
Because I thought
or whenever.
Because they didn't even believe Spenny could do it. They hired Matt and Trey hired a Comedy Central executive.
We talked about this, Matt Sloan. Yeah. The
that's
broken
right.
foot. But I don't know why. What everyone
because
the question on everyone's lips, Kenny, is why didn't Testes wait for literally 2 months for us to finish KVS? Why not just do KVS and then go right into Testes?
Because there was a certain amount. Because when that Matt asked me that question, he said, "Do you want to wait?"
Yeah, because we did them at the same time, which is insane.
Before you finish testes to do KVS, he said, Comedy Central has $1 million for you to do KVS, which is nothing. But they offered us $1 million. He said, if you wait he knew I was doing testes, even though he got mad at me that I did. He said, if you wait and do testes first, I can't guarantee that $1 million is going to be there after you do testes.
Why not the other way around though? Why not wait to do testes?
Because they wouldn't wait. That was a deal. Take the deal or fuck you.
But like start shooting now? Like couldn't you have just said like we need to do we need to get the
I tried.
scripts
You don't
lined
think I
up?
tried to like?
I'm sure you did, but I guess
schedule. No.
at the time it was such a blur, you know?
Yeah. No, they were like, you got a testes deal. You have to accept it in 48 hours.
And you have to like start delivering episodes by this date.
And Matt's like, you know, you can wait to do KVS after you're done testes, but I don't know if
And you're like, no, I'm gonna do it
I don't
at the
know if
same
Comedy
time.
Central's still going to be on board by
and
now.
you're like, I want both. It's
Yeah.
like the secret family. It didn't work out.
And you know, the reality was I was very green. And looking back, I probably would never have done testes, knowing that, you know, how things go. But the numbers on Kenny versus Spenny in the US on Comedy Central were terrible.
Well, season
And Derek
one.
Harvey, who I was doing testes with, who probably told me the numbers were terrible just so that I would do testes because he had that deal with me. Probably lied because he's such a slime ball.
That is great though. Derek
He
was
wrote,
on.
who wrote Freddie Got Fingered, Derek, with Tom.
He's the best. But he was on. What season was he on with KVS? Season 3, maybe? Maybe
yeah.
4? Might have been on 4. Yeah, Derek Harvey. Look him up. Good dude.
Yeah.
Funny guy.
I love Derek.
Okay. But it's just, I don't know. 'cause-
Anyways, listen, I was green. The people were throwing deals at me. You get one shot. I thought, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia was popping. I thought, oh my God, I'm going to leave KVS and I'm going to do testes and I'm going to have my own.
But you just got
I'm
in
gonna
with
have
Comedy
my
Central. You
own.
just got in with the South Park guys. Like we just had one season under a belt, and it's like,
and
it's
the
like
numbers weren't good on
I
Comedy
know,
Central.
but it's like they were believing in it enough to do another season with us.
Yeah, but that was a way for me to leapfrog and have my own fucking Family
Jump
Guy.
ship.
Have my own Family Guy. A once in a lifetime opportunity.
You left.
Like, what
you
am I
left
gonna do?
KVS at the altar, man.
No, it was almost done anyhow. Spenny was
But we
fucking...
just it wasn't almost done because we did one season with Comedy Central, only one, and
Yeah.
season 5, like we were just finding our stride. Like what an end! The South Park guys.
I know,
I'm just
but,
playing
but
devil's
the
advocate,
numbers were
but-
so shit. The numbers were so shit on
But
Comedy
it's like-
Central.
but
I
they
thought they were.
believed in
I
it.
felt like they were going to cancel it.
But season 2
they were
might
only
have-
doing it because Matt Stone told them to do it. They didn't want it. Doug Herzog, the president of Comedy Central, hated us. He was trying to get the show canceled. He never wanted it.
Yeah.
And I just didn't feel like I had a future there because the president fucking hated us.
Douglas.
What happened was
Douglas is here, by the way.
original.
He's coming. Douglas.
So Doug Herzog. So what happened was we sold the show to John Miller at MTV. And right after Tom Green had their show canceled on MTV. So he brought us in. John Miller liked us. And we didn't even have, all we had was our movie pitch and a little trailer of it. And he brought us in to Brian Graydon, who was the head of MTV and the god of MTV. And he said, here's the new guys. So Spenny and I went and we pitched MTV at something called the Pitch-a-thon, which is a very famous happening at the House of Blues in
Is this the meeting
LA.
where you were told don't make any Jew jokes?
Yes. And we went there with Will Smith's company, David Tochterman, who we loved, who brought us in to get it to pitch. And we pitched the first episode pilot was who can first guy to start a cult wins,
Oh, okay.
which was based on the movie Marjo. First guy to start a cult wins. And we went to MTV and they didn't pick it up. They didn't pick up the show, even though it was an amazing pitch. And Tochterman was in the back going like this, like, oh my God, you did it. And we were with JK.
Rowling.
No, JK was Will Smith's like high school buddy who he started Overbrook with. And that's who we went in and pitched the show. Like we had our shot and we nailed it and they still didn't pick it up. But USA Network picked it up. And USA Network, Stephen Chow at USA Network, picked up the pilot, Who Can Gain the Most Weight.
Right.
And when Doug Herzog, who was the president of USA Network, took our pilot, he showed it to his 10-year-old kid.
Yeah.
And his 10-year-old kid was saying, I don't like this, Danny. These guys suck. So Doug Herzog's like, these guys suck. We don't want it. So we managed to pluck John Moraine as our pal, who was always our producer, took the show from USA Network, gave it to CBC, and then CBC, and so everything, we ended up getting the show after
Game
that.
Show Network.
So Doug Herzog always had a hard on for us because his shitty loser, piece of shit little kid didn't like the pilot.
Okay.
This is a network executive who would show a comedy to his kid, and if the kid didn't like it, he wouldn't pick it up.
Right. So he didn't have a hard on for you. It was more like a limp dick.
No, and so then, but eventually Matt Stone took it back to him and fucking freaked out and said, "You're taking this fucking show, and we're gonna fucking quit." Like,
Wait, we're talking
his
about
wife, Matt
Herzog from
Stone's-
MTV, though.
Yeah,
Was he
so
now-
Herzog
he went to Comedy
after
Central.
USA Network, Herzog became the president of Comedy Central.
Oh, okay,
so when
right.
we came back,
Yeah.
he hated us. He never wanted us, never liked us.
Right.
Matt Stone's wife, Angela, told me that she had never heard Matt scream more on the phone to Comedy Central when he got our show picked up. He
Right.
fought for me.
Right. So we
And
did
said,
one
"You're
season, and then you bailed on it to do testes.
Yeah, because I felt like Comedy Central was doing everything in their power to cancel us. They were just allowing Matt to have us on for a season, and they were going to say the numbers are shit. We're dropping them, but we tried.
Right.
So I knew it was. I knew we were getting canceled. I knew it was coming. So my only chance to leapfrog into another show and do it was to take Testes.
I have the perfect analogy.
But I did Testes and Kenny versus Spenny, and season 5 was a great season.
It was a good season, but my analogy is...
It was as good as it could have been. It may have
bird-
been better than if I didn't have Testes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. No, that's true, it's true.
And Testes is, okay. Testes was really a cartoon that I sold to Fox.
Yeah.
It was a cartoon.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't take the cartoon, but he said, you know what? They need a live action on FX, go do live action
Right.
there. And I said, okay. But it should have been a cartoon.
And then you did season 6 after Testes didn't get renewed.
No. But they said, let's do season 7, and Spenny was such a fucking shitty bitch.
Well, then he did Single Weight Spenny.
I canceled season 7.
Because Single Weight Spenny was basically lined up to happen basically exactly when we would have done season 7.
Yeah, but I said, what happened was they said, let's do season 7. I said, "No. I think what's a better show is I've already beaten Spenny. I think it's me versus the world. It was me versus man,
Right.
me versus nature, and man versus himself, man versus nature, and man versus man. Those are the three.
Right.
A quintessential
It was a continuation of the
competitions.
series, but without the
And
the
so, but the second we did, so what happened was Trailer Park Boys said they don't want to do Trailer Park. Miraculously, Trailer Park Boys said, we don't want to do Trailer Park anymore. We want to do that
Drunken Stoned Happy Hour.
something like that.
Yeah.
And so just out of the blue, I said, well, I don't want to do a show either, not even knowing they did. They thought, oh, because Trailer Park Boys and Kenny versus Spenny was such a good unity, we're going to take Trailer Park Boys' new show and Kenny's new show. And then when I got a new show, then Breakthrough, the worst production company in the world, who's still fucking
Easy
stealing
now, you're
shit
still
from
in bed
me.
with them.
No, I'm not.
What if
They're
we do
fucking
another
garbage.
season of Kenny versus Spenny?
Oh, yeah. No, they're fucking bankrupt. They're fucking losers. I can't stand them. Just shitty fucking idiots.
Action Network. How did that happen? So was that because...
So yeah, what happened was when we... So we
it
were
was
like going to
supposed
be,
to be
we were
on
like a big
Showcase.
show on Showcase.
It was gonna be Showcase.
And Showcase, the entire network got sold to Shaw in Canada. It was a private Jewish company, Showcase.
Yeah, and Shaw's...
And Shaw bought it, and then they just, I don't know,
More
we got
moralistic.
schluffed off to the side.
No, but then
But
it was going to...
when I did Triumph for the Will, my executive said that, we did the mom episode, and I showed the mom episode, which to me is the greatest thing we've ever done. I don't think anything comes close to.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Try to get,
It's a work of
take
art.
my mom, please. Like to me, that is the most personal, most beautiful, most wonderful show I did out of every other Vice stuff, like everything on my movies, everything.
Yeah.
And when they saw that, they said, "Oh, this is elderly abuse." I'm like, what the fuck? They didn't get it. They're idiots. Anyways.
So you grabbed your mom's boob,
No.
That's all they could focus on. It's
Whatever
a masterpiece.
whatever I do, it's too much for fucking everybody.
Well, as I
Self-destruct.
understand it, though, it was like, so it was going to air in Showcase. Then they had the Action Network, which was basically a bunch of repurposed stuff. And they're like, we want more eyeballs in the Action Network.
Yeah.
This is one version.
Yeah.
Which is, so Trailer Park Boys, new show, our new show,
Yeah.
Power Hour, it's going to get viewers over there.
Well, no,
Or
they
they're
just
trying to bury
dumped it,
everybody,
buried both
or
shows.
it's
They
more
probably
like a
thought their
bury-
show was terrible. I don't think it was. I don't know if it was good or not. I didn't even watch it.
I don't know, but it was a buried job.
They
just
buried theirs,
us.
they buried mine. And they
Yeah.
put Spenny on Showcase. Spenny got the big premiere. Single White Spenny was premiered on Showcase as the big new show, which was, just unwatchable. And it got the worst cable views in the history of Canada, supposedly. But listen, whatever. The guy can do it. But they hired David, what was his name, to do the show? David.
Oh yeah, wait, SCTV dude. What's his name?
No, he's not. He's
but he was like he's in what was it? Lauren Michaels. Like what was that guy?
Yeah. What's his name? He's like a famous Canadian. He did
Comedy
some talk
guy.
show stuff.
Yeah, what the hell's his name?
Not David.
David Russell Wallace.
Anyways, right? You can Google it.
Schwimmer?
Anyways,
David Schwimmer.
No, I bumped. So they gave him $500,000 just to put his name on the show. So we walked with all his
exec
cake,
producer.
and
Yeah.
even it was just terrible. Anyways, I bumped into him once at Soto Soto.
The fuck's his name?
And he knew. I said, "Oh yeah, you got Spenny acting. I hear you were doing the show." And I could tell in his face. He knew like it was just garbage. He was just
Got a single,
taking a fucking
single fat
money
paycheck.
grab.
Yeah.
David.
Fuck.
Oh, I can't believe I keep thinking Copperfield.
I know
Field,
he's like
something Field. Seinfeld. I don't know. Fuck whatever. He's a hack. Bastards.
Jerry's brother.
Guy
David
made
Seinfeld.
some more cash than Spenny on the fucking show. Put his name on it. It was
Yeah.
talking about buried.
They banked on it.
Okay, so what do you want to do? Octopus, fart, intimidate, impersonate, three greatest KVS shows, three greatest fan shows ever.
I feel like why don't we take a vote here?
Well, Marco cut Octopus.
I go for Octopus.
Octopus from Marco. Yeah. Octopus from you.
So what do you think the number one greatest Kenny versus Spenny show of all time is?
Fart.
I think Fart is too.
Yeah. What's the top three? Fart, Octopus.
Impersonate.
Yeah, impersonate's
But
great.
to me, the for fans, impersonate. I think for me, I like Naked, Baby, Meat.
Meat, I love meat. Meat's one of my, that's to me a
Yeah.
passion project, working
Yeah.
in a butcher shop as a teenager. Wait, did we do Octopus?
I don't think, no, we didn't do Octopus.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Let me check. Let me check
man.
the chart. I'm so bad with fucking organizing. Jesus Christ.
I feel like we did it.
No.
Jesus, man. Maybe because I watched it recently, because I haven't watched the show for a long time.
So
Octopus.
Octopus is the one that, whenever I bump into I bumped into a celebrity, when I had the Hoxton, I
you
had a
look in the
club.
mirror.
I had a club that
Yeah.
had huge DJs and stuff, and I'd see Diplo or something. Oh, you did Octopus, So I was like, oh my god,
Yeah, it's pretty legendary.
I think back then, Kardashians watched it, or that was just to show that, oh my god, you got this guy slipped his friend.
that would be an
acid.
introductory show for people to introduce them
Yeah.
to KVS. Would be that would be the hook. They'd show
Yeah.
that episode for people to kind of get interested. If you
I
were a
don't think-
fan, that would be when
I
you'd
don't
show
think
people.
internationally or globally saw anything but Octopus. I think Octopus is probably the most watched show.
Yeah,
Well,
it's such a
Follow Kenny versus
curiosity.
Spenny.
Because people are like, I have to see this. Two guys with an octopus in their
Yeah,
heads.
the guy
how fucked
slipped
up
his
is
friend
that?
acid, which was such a weird. I don't even know where we got the octopus thing.
idea?
I think I did the octopus thing.
It wasn't for me. I wish.
Yeah,
wish
I
could
think I
take
did
credit
octopus.
For it, but I didn't.
Goat was from a Roman Polanski movie,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is The Fat and the Lean. So I
Yeah.
kind of pulled these things out of
Yeah.
maybe I even saw you were wearing your octopus shirt one day, and I thought, oh, octopus on the head. But
Maybe.
I can't remember where the
It's so
concept
abstract.
of octopus came
It's so
from.
abstract.
Yeah.
But I feel like maybe we'd riffed on other ideas of other things like watermelon on the head, I think, and carry shit. Like this sort of like idea.
You wanted to do who could carry more shit or something.
I don't know, maybe.
Didn't you have something who could carry a bucket of shit the longest?
Or something that was going to rot. Like it starts off fresh, but eventually like a turkey or something.
Which is another Polanski, which is Repulsion.
Yeah,
with Catherine Deneuve, which is really, the rotting of the thing on your head is something that I was interested in. You know what I mean? And maybe Tom did the rotting raccoon at that talk show. What's his name? That guy who was fucking sucked. What's his name?
Glenn Humphrey?
No. He was on that talk show.
Well, he brought a raccoon to
what show?
Was it Conan O'Brien?
No, it's that Canadian guy with the worst talk show ever.
Bullard?
Mike Bullard.
He brought a raccoon. Oh yeah,
and then he chainsawed this raccoon. So maybe because that was rotting, I thought, maybe we should do something that was rotting. Or maybe no. I don't think I wasn't really copying Tom. I didn't want to copy Tom or Jackass or anybody. It was impossible to do anything in that genre that was totally original and unique. And I hate fucking copying anybody. Like if I found out we were copying, like. We did the fashion episode and I called myself Chaos, and then I realized that there was this, then somebody told me there's a rapper called Chaos. I had no idea.
But it was like early Chaos days too. I don't think he was just beginning.
Yeah, but I was so mad that I thought that there's somebody else that had a name that I did that existed, so.
Chaos, who'd have guessed?
Yeah. No, I like him. We were friends.
No, he's great. He's great. But another thing I was going to say about the LSD thing, I think for some people like that didn't grow up in that world of psychedelia, even for me, like growing up, LSD was always available, always around. So
and your dad did a lot of LSD.
That's true.
Once I went over to your dad's house, wasted on acid with my high school buddy.
Yeah.
And I was like, Terry, we gotta go somewhere. And he's like, instantly like, sat us down and rolled a massive cone of weed and put like red lights on in the house and started, blaring like Beethoven and Bach and Mozart, Shankar. And he's like, okay, here you go. You're okay.
He wasn't just like, shh.
But to have two high school kids, to be like a 50-year-old guy and have two high school kids.
It's weird.
Wasted on acid in your house and feeding us orange juice and taking care of us was the ultimate safe house.
Was he living at your mom's at that point?
No, he was on
Bright Street or
Wascana.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. It was in Magoo's house, Paul McGowan's house.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Next to the beer store on in off of River. Queen and River.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad's great. Yeah, there's a few times I went over. My dad's
best.
Wasted, and he was so great. Was the person who you want to go to when you're too fucked up.
Oh yeah. Now this is a guy who, I played cards with and smoked more weed with than anyone in my life.
What are you pulling up here? Oh yeah.
Octopus.
And
I said I'd never do this. I said I'd never do a fucking show that we had already done on previous commentaries, but because I never did this with you.
Yeah, and when you do it with Spenny, it was like what? Like for the DVDs, so it's probably like in season 5, right? Were the DVDs coming out like a year after the shows aired? So like this would be like what, 10, 15 years ago? At least.
This is, what episode is this?
So it's been a while.
So I haven't seen Octopus in a while, but it's definitely the...
You wouldn't be able to shoot it now, to do it now. It's not politically correct.
To put an octopus in your head?
Yeah.
No, yeah, you can.
Squid is okay though.
I feel bad because octopuses are so smart. They decorate their houses. I watched my octopus teacher. I almost crying. It was incredible. Fake. Probably is fake. Again, this is just... Oh, look, is that crane shot? What is that?
Yeah, I remember got a jib.
Oh my God, you have no idea.
I remember getting the jib and like doing some jibs outside the house.
Look at Spenny, doesn't even know what's going on. This is me just totally overpowering. It's not stupid, it's the greatest. I have no idea. See, I didn't even realize. But we're doing it. We did so many shows, we don't even realize what's like that we're about to do the Octopus episode, the greatest Kenny versus Spenny episode ever. This is out of like 89 episodes. This might be one of the most important. 88. This might be the most important one. Is that including the pilot?
Yeah.
That must be the most important one. Does that include the Christmas special?
Yeah. But you're right though, because you know, on this couch, you know, it's a moment of like the idea is being born. It's just crowning, and you don't know, is it going to be an abortion or a fucking rocket scientist, right? It's like we don't know. I mean, how many shows did we fuck up? We started on the couch. This is gonna be
Look
great.
at that. That's a shot of an octopus eating a chick's puss.
Unbelievable. Same artist who did that tsunami wave.
Yeah.
That famous.
And it aired.
This is fucking boring
Yeah.
shit. I know you're all sick of this shit.
We are.
Giving this stupid rules, man, because we don't need fucking rules in this world, man. We make the rules.
Oh yeah, we don't.
We make the fucking
we don't.
rules.
Yeah, anarchy. It really works. Knocked off by other guys. So you just
I like that we got to a point where we started using the dry erase board, because I don't know what episode it is, somebody knows, but it's like,
It was just a great way for him to
Like-
feel, you know, it's like that was his rule. That was his boundary.
we did
They
it
call
once
them
for an
boundary
episode.
now, yeah.
And it's like, became a thing. These guys are awesome. Well, I love these dudes.
The Kraken. That's a monster. That guy was the best.
He's so great. They're so amused by the thing. They're like, what is, like, this is not an ordinary day at the fishmongers.
Oh, I said Kraken.
And his laugh just kills me.
I want the medium one.
Well, so do I. Just take the big one. You're bigger than me.
I don't. Are you out of your mind?
No.
Do you think I'm gonna?
Can I tell you about that jacket? That jacket he's wearing.
My penis weighs more.
Okay, first of all, that jacket is
Don't laugh at that.
the worst thing he's ever done to me. I got a jacket once in New York, and he told me he wanted that jacket, and I said, fine, I'll tell you where I got the jacket if you promise me that you'll never, ever wear that jacket with me. And he bought the jacket, and he always wore it. And it was the most horrible betrayal in the history of our relationship was him buying that jacket and wearing it. Eventually, one night, he
The
got
most
so
horrible?
the most horrible.
Yeah.
That he would wear my favorite jacket, and then I got him one. One night he got so wasted that he left his jacket at a bar, and I just fucking hit it, and he lost it. I was like, "Fuck you."
Best friends, better enemies. The
That
fact
was
he wears a
freezing.
leather jacket with, like, he knowing he's gonna get an octopus put on his head, getting like fish goop dripped on his, like, what an idiot, right? Like, would you wear a leather jacket with, like,
No, he's an idiot. I still have that. I have that green thing. I was gonna throw it up, but somebody wants it. You can have it.
I can't see.
That's my diesel.
look at this guy, he's like so happy.
I want to go home.
I love those guys, they're so great.
Look at $1 million.
Look at $1 million.
Those guys.
Shit, it's raining.
I love the coin flip, man, you're so lucky.
It's just like
you
shit.
won that
It's
coin flip.
raining. Like, what do you mean it's raining? Who cares? It's raining. You got an octopus on your head.
And it's leather jacket, Charger bag.
You know what the difference between Spenny and I
This is Will. That's my ode to Will Smith in Men in Black. So that was a Will Smith joke, just because he picked us up originally. And so they dropped us, and then we sold the show. It's like, fuck you, Will Smith, you slapping bitch.
William.
Even though I love the guy, he gave us 20K. Spenny lost the 20K. The second he gave it to us, he went to a casino with his idiot loser cousin Jimmy.
Really? He gambled away his
And
20K?
yeah, lost it in like a day.
Wow.
I'm like a rock.
Not surprised. Jesus,
Yeah,
man.
Milli Vanilli.
Isn't it so abstract? This thing came from the ocean.
I still have that too. That's upstairs.
Octopus came from the ocean. And now it's on someone's head. Like,
That's the foreshadowing.
It's completely disgusting.
Oh, the
juice
skull
is
mask.
not going in my eye, which is good. Hey! Is there an octopus on there?
it's just such a great look. Like, I like you put the tensor bandage on.
Yeah.
And like
already
a Rastafarian hat. It's like
Putting that hat on?
amazing. Like,
Why do you have to wear a hat?
They give me the drip of man moon.
What?
They give me the drip of man
It
moon.
was so bad. I felt so bad. I couldn't. I had friends that could do the
Why
best
do you wear
Jamaican
a hat?
accents,
It's octopus
and I
on the
was
head. It's
just.
nothing about the Rastaman hat.
Why are you wearing a friggin' turban there, Mwah?
Well, this is, well, I guess you're right. I forgot about it.
Muach.
It's not a turban, it's a tensor.
So
Would be
why are you wearing a
disrespectful to wear
turban, Muach? But like, who can even say a line like that anymore?
I
Disqualified.
think I wouldn't do it.
Oh, yeah? What are you spraying me for?
Well, first of all, the house smells like fucking dead octopus.
and didn't that, we had the, I mean,
I know, you
fuck,
can't
I
smell
feel like we
it.
talked
Your
about this
smell is so bad.
octopus
Don't
ghost in the
override that
house.
Oh, my
Remember how
God,
the house
that's
smelled
poison on my coffee.
like dead
I
octopus?
think we talked about that. And while we were doing another episode.
Okay. Because like after this episode, there was like this lingering scent of like a rotten octopus, really.
Like
I swear a
sushi.
tentacle wound up somewhere
Octopus is on our head.
under
Are you
something,
insane?
and that is probably there to this day. Like,
We gotta order it.
but it was the ghost of the octopus. We came back at like the following season, and it's fucking stinking like octopus.
Fuck. Look at this.
Oh, that's disgusting, dude.
That is beyond the pale of fucking ignorant. Take off your
Do you like grilled octopus?
One condition.
Love it.
It's so good.
I feel bad about eating it. I didn't eat it in years, and I started eating it again because I'm like, oh, fuck it.
so good.
Planet's over.
fucking ignorant.
I heard that we're all going to be dead in 15 years. Like, I read a lot of news,
Go in the distance.
and I'm on some crazy websites, and they're like, oh, 15 years, we're going to be dead. Things are, it's 130 degrees now.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, people aren't going to be watching. You're probably going to be watching this in September. It's, you know.
still got like 14 and a half years to.
Yeah.
Don't ask.
I won't.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, yeah. So this is the cat that we did the cat ass lick at the end. The
cat,
the
yeah.
secret humiliation that wouldn't air. I think we should
I
talk
love
about,
this.
we'll talk
like,
about that after.
What I love about this cat idea though is that it's like, it's the stupidest idea, but that's what's funny about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Listen, to have someone come over and I thought the cat was gonna grab, just bite it and like it wouldn't take it out of its mouth. I thought, like, it's
Wait,
not
do you
that
think
bad.
the foreshadowing music is premature?
Yeah, Matt Stone always told me stop showing fucking foreshadowing. But this is the funniest thing ever. This was probably one of my favorite things ever. The cat on a fishing pole. Like, it's...
Stella.
What are you doing?
Cat's just like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. This is like fucking crazy. Oh my god.
I think I
cat.
Foleyed that in later.
So you officially lost.
Yeah, lost that.
Humiliation
Lost.
time.
The
If you're
sad
a
reality
true
is
friend,
that,
you would have admitted
he hasn't
you were
taken
done.
the octopus, so I'm gonna have to sleep. I was hoping it wouldn't go this far.
Well, what do you
Yeah,
expect to happen?
Yeah, it's like been like 5 hours.
And whatever, we talk about this later, but like, how long do you think this could have lasted? Like, he didn't do acid. Like,
It can
I
last
mean, when the
a week.
flies are like literally.
But I think I've mentioned it before, but I had to use Mechanics Pumice hand soap because my hair stunk so bad that I couldn't get the smell out for a week.
Yeah.
And I had to throw out all of these pillows. Like it was like emanating just a smell from my head. My whole scalp was peeling, and it was like this rotting fucking thing.
Well,
That's
like
the
in that
Marco
house,
sting.
too.
There's Marco. That's the Marco sting.
The Marco Sting. Who wrote this thing?
It's actually called Marco Sting. So I'm still wearing an octopus on my head. I'm wearing tentacles. It's like, okay, I took it off. Okay, fine. I totally cheated. I cheated. So I think the original KVS episode, the SD one, standard definition one on YouTube, so over 2 million views.
Wow.
Which is pretty fucking. All the early KVS ones are on over 2 million views.
All right, talk about this.
Orange juice. So I had put acid in his orange juice before a few times, and I think Actor, or one of the earlier ones in the CBC, I put acid in his juice, and some other ones he never drank it. Then Donnie came to me and said, "Oh, Spenny drank the juice." Everybody knew, don't drink that orange juice.
Well, we weren't allowed to touch anything in the fridge.
Yeah,
the
but
kitchen,
I
eat it.
knew
Fucking, I feel
when he did that, I was like, oh shit, I don't think Octopus is the right episode for him to do acid in. So I thought, oh, it'd been so much funnier, and who the old ladies like more, who's a better actor, or... Yeah, but before I'd gotten acid from that guy before, and done it too, so...
long exposure of an
But I always wanted him to do the acid because he hit me with acid, slipped me acid.
Same vein as LSD.
Wow, if it feels like this, I'll tell you, man. Don't care. I'm never taking this octopus off my
No, I think
No, I think you should take it off.
Yeah.
Once you
It's
feel
a
the paralysis, you should
neurotoxin.
actually remove the octopus from the skin. You could actually be paralyzed. I have a feeling that we're going to be in for one hell of a trip.
Oversold it. You tried.
Yeah. Wow, I was nervous.
Holy shit, you fucking
fucking idiot. The guy's gonna fucking suffocate. Don't put plastic on your head, Spencer.
I think maybe I overdosed the juice.
You know what? I'm going out. Come on.
No.
Yeah, he kept wanting to go out. Yeah.
I have to go outside and be free. There's too many walls.
Oh yeah, I remember like it was like he was like a literal flight risk. Like
Yeah.
he wanted to go.
Yeah, we couldn't let him go.
He's like, it'd be hilarious. I'm just gonna go, and it's like, dude, you can't. And
Yeah.
I think legally we couldn't let him go. Production was like, I mean, they were already like breaking the Geneva Conventions here, whatever.
Organic.
Look at the bug.
There's some great octopus videos online, right? The octopus versus shark.
Yeah.
Great video. Google that.
Oh my god.
The with the jar.
Oh! Oh my god!
Living being.
Kenny.
Should we just end this competition? I
think there were 4 hits.
Things off and be free, man. Set them free.
She just poured like a bucket of boiling water on him. Just cooked the octopus.
Oh, I was just peeling.
You would never.
It's like bubbling.
Ever do that.
God, no. Do what?
Skin is like paper,
You know,
man.
He fucking did this to me in grade 9. I went to fucking the sin is
Funny, I thought it was a Tropicana box. See, I can't remember.
Slipped in acid. My fucking
It's so hazy. And it's funny, like how often do people tell you
But
about
I
the
do
show and you're
remember.
like, I have
I
no
do
idea.
remember.
Slander. If you're saying I did anything to you,
Like we're probably the
Trying
worst.
to give him acid earlier and he wouldn't do it.
away from me?
But I think like I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm like the worst. If people ask me details about the show, I'm like, I have no idea. Like we watched
Well,
the
it was
rough cuts, we watched when
week
it
after
aired.
week after week.
Like
Like,
such a blur.
you know, you're doing Monday to Friday, Octopus ends, and then the next morning
Yeah.
we were doing, you know, Who Could Stay Awake or with Mom, 10 Mile Race or something. It was just fucking
Such a blur.
it was a blur.
It's like saying, tell me about that time you went to that one restaurant. It's like, I don't fucking know. Like, I didn't even know what I ate. It's like,
Why am I wearing big ears?
I swear, this is the first time ever that he's actually like and watched
Puking.
video games. Spenny, did you take any drugs?
would you do acid
Fucking thing
again?
off your head
Never.
already.
Why not?
I would do slivers. You know, when I was in LA, people were doing slivers. They're taking hits of acid blotters and slicing them into like 100 pieces and just doing like 1/10
Like
of a hit,
microdosing.
microdosing.
Yeah, yeah.
standing like this for what? 15 fucking minutes? Where the fuck is he?
Ayahuasca, would you do that?
Basement.
I know, but I did an insane. What was that? Should I smoke with Matt, my friend Matt Stone and Dennis? We did that. It's that weed where you get wasted for like 60 seconds.
Marco knows.
Salvia. I had a salvia trip with Matt Stone and my friend Dennis.
Describe the experience.
Did
you just, like-
yeah. So I smoked it, and I'm really good at like taking a big fucking.
Oh, yeah, man. It's
I
used
took
to be
a
a chimney.
super puff, and I held it in, and then I became a machine, and my mechanical gears went like,
For lunch?
and for like a minute I was just like, like blasted. And
Where'd your mind go? Did it feel like a minute, or were you like space time
Yeah, it just
continuum?
my entire body just became like a clock parts. And
In a good way, or was that terrifying?
I didn't. I was really. I was kind of separated from the experience, so it's just like.
Thing and fucking reeks. I smell like.
And when you were done, you're like, damn, put me back in, coach.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm done.
So Matt did it first, and then I did, and then Dennis did it.
So you do it and you watch each other trip.
Yeah,
Balls.
yeah.
And you wouldn't do that again, would you?
What? Take what?
For a couple minutes, maybe I would.
What?
Like when you get really old.
Yeah, you don't really want it.
But no, but imagine you're like, do you think like you're in your 80s and your life sucks and your body's feeling like, fuck, you know what, I'm gonna do fucking heroin.
I don't know. I guess I'd be curious to try heroin. I've always been scared of it. I'm not really into the needles, but
But instead of, let's say you had
maybe
assistance-
like a little dose of shrooms. But now I've been eating a lot of like edibles. You know, I kind of don't really drink that much anymore, and I kind of moved to edibles. Even though I stopped doing weed for like 10 years. Oh yeah, like Virgin Mary
Crazy.
statue.
By the way, that Deadhead Doctor Deadhead, hilarious. Like such a
Yeah.
like that's the guy.
That was like Grateful Dead.
The drug
guy.
doctor.
Yeah.
Jared,
I
man.
gotta scare that fucking octopus off his head.
Because that's the thing, you want it off, but it's like we also need to create content.
Yeah.
We need a 22-minute show.
But even, I think, I see, when we're shooting, I don't know whether we have enough content or not. Like, we did Baby in like 2 days probably. Or I'm not sure, but I think Baby was a quick one. I can't remember what shows were quick and
been like
which
48
shows were slow, but there were some shows that we actually did in 2 days. And they
Well, I
were
remember
like,
with Touch the Ground, like we probably would have shot for maybe another day or so, like before the Segway thing,
yeah.
right? Like I remember it was like, fuck, it's over? Really?
Yeah.
Like,
I hope we have
just
enough.
getting started.
I always hoped I had enough, but you start trusting the process, and you manage to.
Well, this could have been better. Like imagine we shot this like the season before or the season after, right? Like it could have been a total bust.
I guess looking back, it's kind of really guerrilla and stuff. But when you think about when this came out 20 years ago, when nobody had ever really done it was me and Spenny at each other. Nobody in the world had done that.
Not like this.
Tom screwed with it. Tom Green screwed with his parents, and Bam Margera screwed with his parents, and Jackass and stuff. But it wasn't anywhere near the level where Spenny and I had owned the verses.
Yeah.
Like we created that brand and stuck to that brand, and that's what it was. And Kenny versus Spenny was just something that everybody had kind of heard about and knew about. Like I said, so it's kind of like the Faces of Death. Like they're just, the stoner in your high school, like the group of kids were watching it, or people brought it to their little brothers or little sisters, or the dads, like the divorced dads made their kids watch it so they'd be cool.
Yeah.
And it just was just one of those little shows like Mr. Show or something that was small but just had, the ability to permeate throughout the globe.
But how cool is that? Because you were that guy who like had that crazy movie, like uncensored, Children of the Sun or Man Behind the Sun, fucked up like crazy shit, Face of Death, all that stuff. Like you were that guy, and then you created your own version of that, right? Like that underground.
Well, that's I was into Dogma. I was a real filmo. I understood film and cinema, but. Was always upset that I could never do anything that was close to, that stuff.
Explain what Dogma is.
Dogma is the Google and search.
Can't believe the octopus stayed on his head.
We never used lights. We didn't have a light kit. We just shot guerrilla style.
Well, yeah, we had the house set up basically so that we could just go and there was no place we couldn't shoot. Because the worst would be like, oh, hold on, Kenny, you're in the middle of like doing something. Let me just like.
It was just bright lights.
It's kind of ruined directing TV in a way because the process, like the immediacy.
But we weren't shooting. We were like, I think we ended up with HD. Season 1 was standard definition, and the rest of the seasons were HD.
No.
This is before.
No, we had PD-150s for season 1, season 2 and 3 the DVX-100, which was like mini DV. Season 4 was the fucking, what were those blue Sony, what the fuck were those cameras? Yeah, but it was like the disc that shot 45 minutes and took like a minute for the camera to boot up because it's like,
the worst.
I don't know whose decision it was, but it's like, oh, we're going with Comedy Central, we have to step up our technology. It's like, the tool for the right job, right?
Yeah.
And it's like those cameras fucked us so bad because it's like I used to have those DVXs like sitting on my lap all the time. These cameras weighed like 50 pounds.
Look at this victory.
So much shit.
Cherry
We lost
Beach.
so much like footage.
So this is where Spenny and I used to go like get high. Cherry Beach. I put all of our favorite places in it.
Yeah, we did that. I remember the band episode, that humiliation. Like you being all sincere.
Be free. Ocean Octopus in Lake Ontario.
That walking away shot.
So this is the second humiliation. The original humiliation was cat ass lick. And,
You've heard of sushi. This is tushi.
well, which is such a great line.
It's a living.
That's a Walter Matthau line. It's a
Hope
living.
you like octopus, Spenny.
I love that we're in this restaurant, there's other diners.
Oh my God,
The
right
things that
out of
happen
my
behind
ass.
closed doors.
Oh
my God.
Like he's eating sushi out of my ass.
Oh my God.
It's just crazy. This was to not have the cat ass lick and do this was
He's taking
It's
it.
pretty good.
He almost doesn't seem to care.
Oh my God, I'm laughing.
So gross.
Like, you shot this, you were there for everything. You just...
That's bizarre, man.
Yeah,
The bizarre
and
things.
you only had you and me really to bounce shit off of. What are we gonna do? Full fart.
You fart a lot, man. It's like amazing.
Full fart. Like, what a perfect time to fart.
And nude sushi is a thing, right? Like, you can go to some high-end
Yeah.
sushi places and a model lies
Yeah.
with
I
sushi
had
on
heard
and
about
eat
it.
off of it, which is so
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, I am a little perturbed. And you owe me $80 for it. Man, are you crazy? People commit suicide.
Those names. Where is everybody in this credit roll?
People have jumped
Yeah,
off of
oh, man.
buildings. You don't mess with people's
Anyways,
minds
God,
like that.
what a fucking...
Retribution,
That
man.
was really...
So I know you guys are arguing here and talking about it, but like his reaction after seeing the episode,
Loved
Spenny,
it.
right? Like,
Loved it.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
the thing. People are like, oh, like why would he put up with that?
He's
It's-
not an idiot.
He wants a paycheck.
Yeah,
He wants a
yeah.
show that's successful.
That was Blake.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you want a successful show, or you want to do who can like fucking
Yeah.
wear socks the
we fell
longest?
through the cracks. Nobody would ever be allowed to do that. Even that would get taken down off of just regular YouTube now. Like you would, like I don't even know if you could
a
do that on.
zeitgeist.
Like you would probably be sued if you had slipped your friend acid and filmed it. You know what I mean?
Oh my God,
especially
there's
now,
so
there's an
many-
entirely new era of like, justice. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Man.
We got to do it, we did it, and it worked out. But fuck, we had no fucking money, and the show looked so shit.
yeah,
For what we could have done with what the ability that we had, when we lost Breakthrough
yeah.
and start making the show ourselves, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden, Triumph of the Will looked fucking amazing. Once,
Yeah.
we ditched those losers.
But it works. I mean, it's not a cinematic show. I think the whole point was the immediacy.
I
It's
guess
like bunch of idiots with
the
camcorders.
originality and the production values and just the guerrilla primitiveness of the show just gave it a certain type of reality, like it did with Tom Green or
It's
Jackass.
raw. Like I mean, imagine a
You know.
cinematic KVS. I remember when we were talking about like the film, doing a film, or whatever. Like you'd have to, even with a kid. I think that's one of the reasons why. And I know you say some people love the Christmas special, but I think
Yeah.
anything that we did was
Nobody
more
likes a
polished.
Christmas special.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Anytime we did anything polished and produced, people just
Well,
rejected
that's what
it.
I hope.
They didn't
Comedy,
wanna see you guys.
I was hoping Comedy Central would come in, and the production values didn't change at all. Nothing changed at all. It was still the same show. I just feel like, fuck, they're not doing anything for us, and they hate me, and it's going to last 1 year. They're not going to do it again.
But then they
So-
were like, well, let's do another season with you. And then you're like,
No, we did another season. No, it was because they got pissed that I was doing another show. I was like, well, listen.
Deal with it.
I'm not a Hollywood businessman. I probably made the wrong decision. I am doing the best I can. Everybody's trying to do the best
it's a
they
good
can.
story now. And like, really, what is success? You got to imagine if you didn't make testes, it would haunt you to this day. And we did two
Yeah.
more seasons despite.
Yeah.
And we stopped because you decided not to do more.
Yeah,
Not
and
because
maybe,
you had to.
maybe I would have gotten hit by a fucking car if I didn't, do something on the day I was supposed to do testes or something.
Who knows?
Who
It's all
fucking
meant to
knows?
be. No regrets.
Regrets, but
Lots of regrets.
I'm so curious to know what my life would have been like if I didn't do testes, and I stuck with KVS and we just kept doing more seasons. I don't know if Spenny had the ability to do season 7 where he was in his mindset. So imagine if we did season 6 and season 7 was just shit. And we got a 10 episode deal, and after 2 episodes he quit, and I had to pay a fucking $450K in underages or overages or whatever, and I lost everything, and it turned into a single white Spenny, Kenny versus Spenny. So canceling it at a time when it was still great might have been the greatest thing that
Okay,
ever
my
happened.
my
to
parallel
PBS.
universe was the star wipe to like Hollywood Walk of Fame, the China Mandarin Theater.
It was too rude for that.
Fucking
It never
cover
would've made
Rolling
it. It
Stone.
was too rude.
KVS, Sweep the Nation. KVS meet
It was too
President
rude.
Obama.
It was too absurd. It was too anti-establishment. The show never would have made it. It worked with South Park because South Park was animated. They can say anything, but because we were real, we were too gross. We were too gross, and they always would have buried us. We did the show too gross. And that's why it never would have worked on Comedy Central.
If you did have like more of a modicum of success in the US, eventually it would have been like attacked and ripped apart. Whereas in Canada, it's like there's maybe the occasional Toronto Star article where some journalist would show up and just kind of like,
let's say even if it hit, it never would have worked on Comedy Central. Maybe as an Adult Swim, like as an Eric Andre early
early Adult
derivative
Swim.
of that type of early Adult Swim, but that's not what Comedy Central was. And it was just me pulling the fucking ripcord before they canceled me. I was like, fuck you, I'm canceling them.
Right.
I smelt it. I knew it wasn't going to work there. It was too much, too gross. Who do black guys like more? Like, fuck, I'm wearing blackface with a watermelon head. Like, it just wasn't going to work. Anyway, so at least we're here talking about it.
That's right. We're unpacking. We're working through it.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot
to process.
A lot to process, that's for sure. Anyway, so we're going to regroup and try to figure out whether this even worked.
Yeah, we'll see.
And well, we're going to keep doing stuff for Patreon.
If this doesn't work, we'll just put a chest cam on you and it's just you walking around.
Me sucking off hobos for my Patreon members.
It's like those cat videos where they're like, they have cameras, except it's just you just
getting fucked by homeless trannies. Okay, thanks.
It's great. It's good. It's always fun.